Almost everyone knows the movie franchise Avatar, the highest grossing movies of all time with crazy CGI and effects that look more realistic than me. But what if somehow the director James Cameron invents a time machine and goes back 100 years in the past to release Avatar in 1926? What would happen? Let's find out. Okay, so let's pretend it's a Saturday in 1926 and you want to spend 25 of your hard-earned cents on a movie. You notice there's a new movie Avatar playing, so you want to go watch it with your friend. This is how it would go.
Are you ready to watch the new Avatar movie?
Yes, this is going to be exquisite.
Amazing, let's go. What did we just watch?
Blue beans, creatures not of this earth. So many colors.
There's only two ways how to explain these wicked marvels. Either the devil's at work, or those creatures are real.
They must be real. There's no trickery known to man that could produce these sights. Good God, the aliens are upon us.
Wait. You are one of them.
What nonsense are you speaking, Centennial III?
You are no man. You are one of them. You lured me here to turn me blue.
Never. I swear it upon my life.
Liar. Where is your mothership?
I'm not alien. You've lost your senses.
Where is Jake Sully? Where is the rest of your kind? Tell me! Tell me? No!
So yeah, people watching Avatar in 1926 would make them go crazy, and that's just an understatement. And why is it an understatement, you ask? Well, first of all, sound wasn't invented yet. Silent films were the only type of movies in that era. Most movies had live bands to imitate the sound that was playing in the movie. And on top of that, movies were also 40 years away from having color. So imagine the average 1926 person seeing just 1 second of the colorful world of Pandora. Their brains would explode. And don't even talk to me about the camera quality in that time. Movies in that time looked like they were crumpled up, put in 7 shredders, and then crumpled up again. It wasn't the best looking. And finally, the main problem causer, CGI. And I'm sure you know the Avatar trilogies have the best CGI of all time. But how was the CGI 100 years ago? And yeah, you guessed it, they didn't have it. Computers weren't even invented yet. The craziest effect at the time was this one from the movie The Johnston Flood, which was fascinating for its time, and even now it's not bad, but compared to Avatar, it's bad. And since TVs were also not invented yet, the only way people could watch any type of media is the theater. So imagine the hype of this new movie Avatar causing every person to go watch it. Theaters will be filled everywhere for days on end. It would be the most extraordinary thing anyone has ever laid their eyes on. So yeah, everyone would watch it, be amazed, and that's it, right? Of course not. Avatar wouldn't be a spectacle to people. It would feel impossible and way too real. People would think this footage was actually caught on camera with real aliens. And yes, I know, that might sound a little dumb, but hear me out. In 1938, there was a radio broadcast made by Orson Welles, and it consisted of him broadcasting an alien invasion in New Jersey. But of course, this alien invasion wasn't real. Orson was just saying lines from a book about aliens called War of the Worlds. But a bunch of people didn't tune in on time and missed the opening disclaimer explaining how this is fake. So a lot of people thought this staged breaking news was real news. People actually believed aliens invaded Earth. Panic and fear spread across the country instantly. Police stations were called, people were leaving their cities, praying for safety, some people had heart attacks, and some newspapers even stated that a couple of people were so scared that they decided they didn't want to live anymore. If you know what I mean. So if people in 1938 would react this dramatic to just an audio recording, so how would people 10 years earlier react to a photoreal 10-foot blue alien wielding weapons killing humans? It would make everyone petrified. So yeah, the theaters would be filled at first, but the second anyone in 1926 watched just 1 minute of Avatar, they would run out screaming. You gotta understand, people would not see this as just a movie. People in that time period didn't have the capacity to even think about how something like Avatar could be made. Even if our time traveler James Cameron goes to everyone and tells everyone how the movie was made, no one would understand a word. Even now, 90% of people don't know anything about how Avatar was made. People would see the Na'vi not as characters or actors, but they would see them as real-life aliens attacking and threatening Earth. And if you still think that's a stretch, not only were there no computers or TVs invented, people in that time were also decades away from motion capture, 3D backgrounds, any type of creatures, alien language, or even English language, relationships, alien relationships, floating mountains, gigantic flying ships, gunpowder, robots with gunpowder, explosions, flying monster explosions, CGI hair, CGI hands, CGI rope, CGI buildings, CGI anything. This is just too much new information for a human to handle in 1926, because it wouldn't even be new info to them. They are so far behind this technology that not only do the aliens look alien to them, but the techniques and everything I just listed would seem out of this world for anyone in that time. So yeah, the world would go insane. Panic and disbelief would corrupt the whole world instantly. Newspapers, radios, and any broadcast would talk about Avatar and how it is impossible to fabricate these aliens and so many other things in that movie. Chaos would erupt. The world would get split up in all different types of opinions. The main one would be the people who are just scared of the aliens. Others would see the Na'vi as a religious figure or even gods. Cults would also be made supporting the aliens. Other cults would be made not supporting the aliens. And the last group would say that it's fake and that it's not possible. But even they would know deep down that there is no way to prove this is fake. Everyone has seen these avatars on the big screen. It's like they have no choice but to believe they're real. They can't think anything else. And since the whole world would be going insane, governments and presidents would do whatever they can to calm down the masses. Every detective, officer, SWAT team, Navy SEAL, or any type of team would spread around the world to find not just answers, but to also find the aliens. Because at this point, everyone is accepting the Na'vi are real, and that Pandora and all that futuristic tech in the movie is somewhere on Earth. And eventually, peace would just crumble all around the world. Lockdowns all around the globe would happen, military everywhere, there would be riots, there would be looting, deaths, self-inflicted deaths, kidnapping, and so much more. The economy and all trust would collapse. The world would turn dystopian. Eventually, there will be a tall man who paints himself permanently blue and claims he is part of the Na'vi aliens. A lot of people believe him, and a new avatar cult gets created, filled with people who believe they are Na'vi. This cult gets larger and larger until eventually this cult goes global, and everyone who doesn't join will be shot with an arrow and sacrificed. The leader tells everyone to overthrow every government, which leads to all presidents of the world getting captured and sacrificed to the avatar gods. Also, don't forget about James Cameron, who was about to teleport back to 2026, but right before he could, he gets kidnapped by the cult and gets forced to make a machine that turns people blue and have tails. In a month, the whole world is now run by the human Na'vis. Months start to pass, turning into years, turning into decades, until eventually a whole century passed, and it's 2026, where the Earth is now named Pandora, an apocalyptic, overgrown metal wasteland filled with new generation of fake blue humans who are too dumb to understand a movie. But luckily to everyone, James Cameron did not invent a time machine. I explained in my last video how going from point A to point B with no information of the innovation would make it impossible to get to point C. But in this case, you would be going to point A to point Q on a whole nother planet. This would just be way too big of a development that no one would understand. Humanity, as you see, would just crumble itself in a big blue mess. So thank you everyone for watching. Subscribe if you want to turn into Jake Sully. These ideas are so fun to think about, and my ending to the scenario was only one of the millions of possible outcomes. So tell me what you think would happen. So I hope everyone enjoyed, liked the video, and now I'm gonna paint myself permanently blue. For no particular reason, I just feel like it. No reason at all, I'm just gonna paint myself blue. I just feel like it. Stop. I don't care what you think. I just want to paint myself blue. Why are you still here? I'm gonna paint myself blue. Okay, goodbye.